Hello, Nadia. Hi, everybody. Today, I want to talk a little bit about fitness. I mean, specifically, I want to ask what Nadia is doing to keep healthy and strong, and then bring up a little thought I had about my classes that I teach. I guess I'll start with my classes that I teach. Yeah, because it's kind of bugging me. So today, I have a physical therapy clinic. I'm a physical therapist, and I have a Pilates studio adjacent to the clinic, and I'm really proud of our classes because they're taught by physical therapists or people who are trained by physical therapists. And we try to stick true to the intention of Pilates, which is, well, I guess in like a couple points about Pilates is like being pretty precise about your movements and also having a moment in order to be precise. There's like a mind body connection moment where you're thinking about what your body's doing and how it's getting to a position as opposed to just getting to that position many is doing, right? And so that's how we teach Pilates at my at On the Move. But there are a lot of other Pilates options out there, including ones that the point of it is to be really challenging and to push you. I mean, they still want good form, but they're trying to push you to the point of you can't do anymore, right? And we don't get people to that point because we want people to do it well and carefully and not push them to the brink. Not that I think that it's not good to push to the brink sometimes. That's just not the type of Pilates that we're teaching. And so today, somebody brought up how she really likes a particular teacher who that she's taken elsewhere that really pushes super hard. And there were other things that she liked about this teacher too. Like she gives good cues and she progresses exercises well, but she makes the class really hard. And I feel like sometimes people only feel like they're getting their money's worth if they've been pushed so hard, you know? That's not what we're trying to do. So it's like, it's hard for me because I want to give people what they want. And of course, I want people who to take our classes. I also don't want to provide a particular type of class that we're not trying to provide, which is one that pushes you to failure, you know? And I want to know your thoughts on that because you've been taking a lot of classes with your class pass and with your work at CorePower. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Well, I don't have the ClassPass stuff anymore. I did a 2-week, like, free 2-week subscription, like, at the end of August, which was like, I talked to you a lot about that, and I think your, like, pushing to failure type stuff is, like, literally the goal and, like, mission of Solid Core. Like, they say, like, in the beginning of every class, like, you're pushing to failure, which I don't know if it's the type of sports that the sport I grew up doing, which is gymnastics, or like growing up with you as a PT and a Pilates teacher. I don't know. But like the thought of like wanting to push to failure is very weird and kind of a turn off for me. Like that makes it the exercise like feel like something that I don't want to do, you know? And granted, I only did one solid core class and it was really difficult for me, but a lot of people really, really love it and really like how much it pushes you. And for me, like, I have no idea why I can't enjoy it as much as everybody else, but I don't know. But yeah, I am taking core power classes, which I guess is another like exercise class that a lot of people are like, I don't know how you could do it because it is hot yoga. But as I think I talked about this the last episode, I started working there like once a week, just cleaning for an hour and a half so I could use the money I get paid for cleaning towards my subscription, my unlimited subscription, because usually it's like $180 or like 120 with a student discount. But since I work, that money that I get gets put to that, so then it becomes like a $20 membership for me a month to take as many classes as I want, have like 2 free buddy passes I can bring someone if I want, and I can take like they have all like videos on their app, whatever. So I just have unlimited access to that and like discounts in their stores. So I've been like taking a lot of classes, and at first, it was like, I literally don't think I could do this ever again, but I've gotten used to it, which is maybe how people feel about solid core. But it's been like, I really like the way that you teach Pilates in the sense that It's not always gonna be like I'm sweating or, I feel like really, really sore after, but I know that I'm moving my body. But a lot of people like don't like that. And that's when you get into the I want to just be pushed to failure type situation. And solid core, I mean, core power, I feel like is a little bit in the middle. Like they have a lot of different options of classes, and their more yoga based classes to me feel like a good mix. And then their like yoga sculpt classes feel like a workout class if I really want to, I don't know, get my on. But I also took a class the other day that was called Core Restore, and it wasn't heated and it was just like stretching the whole time. And it's usually offered at night, like later at night, which is kind of fun. Like I enjoyed taking that and being able to stretch, but some people just like that's not their vibe. But overall, I don't think I would be doing this if I had to pay the full price for it, and I don't think I would have been doing the class test if I had to pay the actual price for it. So maybe sometimes it's like people wanna get their money's worth, but I feel like you don't have to sweat to, like, you know that you exercise.
Hmm. Yeah, I that brings up another thing as far as, like, you saying that you wouldn't do it if you had to pay the full price. I mean, you're not in the target market, it's probably, like, aimed a little bit
Right.
more for people who are work income. I mean, not everybody has that expendable income. Even if you are earning money, like you might have a rent and a family, like basically
Yeah,
the that you make right now working at the coffee shop or at the cafe and the allowance that you get or whatever, the fact that you have rent paid for and things like that,
right,
like
right.
you actually make pretty good money. Like, I mean, you don't have a kid that you have to support. Like you have like extra money on the side.
I
And
mean, yes and no, because it's like all the other like with the extra money, I have to decide what I spend it on, food or like doing the things that I want to do with my friends versus
yeah.
which is like you don't really want to be having to make that decision. You want to be able to do it all. But I don't know. It's like very I feel like the pricing it's not something that like I'm annoyed and like want it to change and be cheaper because like the teachers have to get paid, like especially for you guys also the type of Pilates that you offer and the teachers that you have, like, it would make sense that it costs the amount that it does, but, like, as a college student, it's just not feasible.
Accessible.
But I feel like when I'm older and do have an income, that is something that I would want to, like, count as part of my budget, Like, I'd want money for that. But I don't know, there's been, like, a lot of stuff recently online, especially with Pilates being so, like, trendy recently in the past, like, year, I guess. I don't know how long, but 2 years maybe, of this girl that well, there's been a lot of different things that have happened, but recently it was this girl that, like, compared Pilates I don't know if you heard about this. Did you hear about this?
I've seen a lot
Compared
more. Which would oh,
compared Pilates to, like, a luxury brand,
mhm,
saying that going to Pilates is like buying luxury, and, like, people were getting mad because they were like, Pilates is like, the whole point of, like, why Pilates is founded was not meant for it to be exclusive for people, like, I don't know why you have to make it, like, a rich person type thing, like, it's supposed to be for everybody. But yeah, she was getting a lot of heat for that, which, like, Pilates classes are very expensive, but, like, they're also meant to be I don't know.
I mean, yeah, they are meant to be of course, everybody wants to be able to everybody that's interested in community health is interested in making their work accessible to the masses, right? Like, for everybody to be able to afford. But and it's not, like, built into Pilates. It's not supposed to be built into Pilates that it's a luxury situation, but it does have a history of being expensive. And then the way that it's been portrayed to people is that it's like a
Mhm.
luxury type situation. So it doesn't so that's the direction that it kind of goes, but it doesn't need to be that way. Like it could be made accessible. Just like, for
Right.
example, like what this golf or tennis, they seem fancy, but do they
But, like,
have
it
to
should
be
be yeah, they
fancy?
don't
Yeah.
have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. People have a lot to say about Pilates, and want Pilates to be like the solid core Pilates or like maybe like the aloe yoga Pilates, which I don't even know if they label as Pilates. I just always see them on a reformer. But like, I don't know, I like doing the classes the way that you teach them. And the exclusivity is just a weird thing. And they do this exclusivity talk happens a lot with Pilates specifically on TikTok. But the old pastime was where there was like a bigger woman that was doing like Pilates on a reformer. Or maybe she was an instructor and she was just showing her Pilates online. And people were being so rude and being like, she shouldn't be able to like do Pilates, like XYZ. And I just think it's like so weird to like make things like gatekeep it.
Oh, I know.
I don't know.
So to anybody who's listening, bodies should be made accessible to all kinds of bodies. So don't feel like if you are curious about taking Pilates, you shouldn't because A, you've never done it before. B, you're not wealthy. C, you don't have like a skinny body, you know? Like it doesn't have to be a certain body type, but I think that a lot of people associate it with that. Social media doesn't help because it's often
Right.
portrayed in that way. So like people have to actively like show people that it doesn't have to look like that, you know?
Right.
But I also want everyone to know that Pilates is different in different places, you know? And so
Yeah.
sometimes what I see online, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be associated with that. That's not how we actually teach at our spot. So
Hmm.
just like there's all different kinds of yoga, like you can go to like a meditative, slow moving, very spiritual yoga class.
Hmm.
Or you can go to, like, something a little bit more upbeat, you know? Or you can go to one that's really focused on fitness and not the, like, spiritual
Right.
part of it, you know? So, there's just all different types. So,
Yeah.
read them all out.
Yeah.
What about
I
weightlifting?
totally. What'd you say?
Should do some weightlifting.
Like go to the gym and
Yeah,
stuff.
or take a lifting class.
Well, for me, like, I know in past podcast episodes, I talked a lot about like getting more into like, going to the gym and stuff, which I still do, but I kind of like mixing it in with going to exercise classes. Before I was doing both in the same day, and that kind of felt like a lot, but I was feeling very strong. So I was like, this is fun. But now I don't have time for that. And granted, I did that for like 2 weeks. So what can I really say? But I mean, I still got to the gym and like lift weights and do all of that, like traditional gym exercises. But recently, I always feel self conscious when I'm at the gym in terms of like I don't always feel like I'm doing the right things. But I've just been doing like what I'm used to doing or just using the machines I want to. Which I mean, not always feeling that secure. Usually, I just want to do what I want to do, like whatever my
You don't feel insecure because, like, thinking like someone's looking at your body. You think that someone's gonna look at you and think that you don't have the right form or something, or you're doing something silly.
not the right form, but, like, why is she doing that when she just did that? Like, I've had people come to me like, "Why are you" I'm, like, benching, and then I say, "I'm doing arm day," and they're like, "They're not the same thing," and I'm like, "Wait, I don't care. Wait, I'm still moving my arms, so it's the same thing." So it's, like, in that sense, and before it was, like, kind of it's very much, like, I'm always outnumbered by guys at the gym, and it's a pretty big gym, and, like but now I'm kind of used to it in the sense that, like, it's never gonna change, like, it's not gonna be, like, suddenly there's a lot more girls working out, and it's not like I'm the only girl, but
Have
I
you ever been
phased it
mansplained at the
out.
gym?
No, because I don't I think I have the worst, like, RBF at the gym, like, I don't really, I don't think I look very approachable, but it's also because I don't want to be approached, and I just, like, don't want what not that somebody would approach me and, like, mansplain it, but, like, I just don't want that, but yeah, so I don't know, and because I always have, like, breaks in the summer where I don't have access to, like, a gym, when I come back, like, it's like I start over again, and recently, I just kind of been sticking to the same, like, number same weight, and just doing it like that until it feels easy again because, like, I don't know. I would say, like, I was squatting and benching a lot more my sophomore year than I am now, and, like, not that I don't wanna work up to that, but, like, it also just feels like too much. I just wanna do it, like, not casually, but, like, I don't know, not go too crazy.
What about, like, long distance, like, endurance things? Are you interested in?
No, I literally hate running so much, and I would try, and I have a friend training for the New York Marathon. I have actually a couple of friends training for the New York Marathon right now, like teammates that are training for half marathons, and I just like it is not for me. I mean, granted, I usually try on a treadmill, and I don't know, running, I just it hurts. It hurts my body to run, and I'd rather not. But at practice recently, we have, like, days where we come in and there's other, like, team girls that are training or Excel girls, so we don't have access to the gym. Like, practice technically starts at 8, but we don't have access to any event until, like, around 8:30. So what we've done is well done, meaning we did this 2 times, but it's been kind of fun. We, like, go outside because the gym is in, like, the suburbs, so, like, right next door to it is just a neighborhood, so we run around this, like, big block outside before we go in, and that's the most running I've done in a while, meaning, like, 0.3 miles. But I think that's it's nice, and it's nice to be with people that, like, know how to run and are like, "Nadia, you need to" like, I just, like, I run too fast all at once, and then I get tired almost immediately, so I need to work on, like, my pacing, but it's been fun to be kinda, like, forced to run again because I used to do that and when I was training, like, JO, gymnastics in high school, but yeah, so
I mean, the bottom line is, like, people always ask me, "Should I what should I do for exercise?" There's probably some answers there as far as, like, you should have a little bit of, like, endurance and some balance and some lifting
yeah,
all there's probably a right answer there. But truly, do we really have time to be doing a bunch of movement that we're not enjoying? No, just do something that you love to do and do it regularly and,
right,
like, get a sweat on, get your
yeah,
heart rate going. It could be training a marathon for one person, and it could be, like,
yeah,
a long walk for somebody else, and I don't think there isn't one perfect exercise, like, everybody thinks, like or lots of people think that, like, running a marathon would be that just means, like, you're extra, extra fit, that's you're the most
yeah,
fit, and that means, like, you have a lot of, like, cardiovascular endurance and some pretty good
mhm,
strength, hopefully, but it's also not the best exercise for some people, and, like,
yeah,
is it really that great to be running that many miles? For some people,
yeah.
maybe, but not for
Not for
everybody. So,
everybody.
yeah.
Yeah. I've also realized, like, a change in the way that I thought about exercise too, which we also talked about this in the very beginning, and I'd be interested to hear what I said before. But I started going to the gym and it felt good to go to the gym and like be in charge of my own workouts and all of that. Like that was my thought going into freshman year and then second year also starting gymnastics, all that. But I also think I was a lot more, like, body image focused then too, than I realized, which was always a thing in, like, high school too. I mean, not all of high school, but, like, for a lot of it. But now I'm like, I just need to know that I'm, like, moving my body at least every day. It doesn't really, like, matter that I don't have a six pack right now. But I do, in case any of you was wondering from, like, CorePower classes. But yeah, so basically I've been trying to reframe. I mean, what's the word?
Reframe the way that you look at exercise and the purpose of it?
Yeah, like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
and
still yeah,
I mean, that being said, like, as humans, obviously, we need to move our bodies, that's what we're built to do. If we don't do it, then things can go awry. And to go back to the whole finances thing, it's funny that at one point in human existence, we got enough exercise just by living.
right.
Now we don't, and we have to pay to get the exercise.
Yeah,
And we don't have to actually. I mean, there's a lot of things that you could do for free, but there's a lot of very attractive exercise forms that
yeah.
you have to pay for.
I don't know. I don't know how long this car power, like, era will live for, realistically.
You or in life.
I mean, at least until probably December. but it'll probably change when I'm on co-op because depending on my co-op, I might not have that much time. So then is it worth it to like have to go in for a shift to clean and to pay for this membership? Probably not. But it's nice for when I do have the time, which is now. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. My thoughts will probably be different this time next year.
I do have to say that I'm glad you did gymnastics and that I'm glad you got strong when you were young because you've built a foundation for yourself that hopefully can last, like a foundation for body awareness and bone strength and like bone health and like
Yeah, I agree.
yeah,
It'd be hard to like start from zero. Like I feel like I started from 75, or 50, like I'm just working my way up back to not trying to work back to what I was like in high school, but you know, want to feel good. Like I'm moving all the time. Which CorePower is nice right now because it's so different from weightlifting at the gym. Like it's way different movements and I'm being forced to sweat a little. I don't know. Not that I love doing that, but it feels good when at the end.
yeah. Yeah, I guess people do really hard classes and do things like run long distance because maybe it doesn't feel so good in your body, but maybe it feels so good to have accomplished it, you know? So there's
Yeah.
like one little moment that you can control, like I did this and that was a good thing and I feel good about myself because I did this good thing for myself, you know?
Right. Yeah. And a lot of the CorePower, like the thing that I love about it is in the beginning they like set like an intention, and I think like when I'm working out and I don't not doing it for any purpose, it doesn't feel as good as to like
Mm.
when I can like go into it being like, this is why I came to this class. Basically, it's like validating. Yeah.
Wait, so is the intention like an exercise movement intention or is it like a worldly life intention?
Usually when I go and where you set an intention in the beginning of a class, like they'll offer you one or they'll be like, think of one in your head, like one personal to you. But it could be like, sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. Gratitude or like feeling grounded, challenging yourself, like showing up for yourself, or like think little thing or like find like a mind body connection. I think, like, in a lot of, like, the yoga focused classes, that's why it reminds me of Pilates just because there's, like, a lot of thought to your movement, but, yeah, it's nice to, like, be forced to think about anything but, like, what I've been doing outside of that studio, so it's fun.
Yeah, like even it's nice that they're thinking about you guys as humans, right? Like to just think about that I mean, think to be grateful for a moment or to think about an intention outside of yourself or just to take a moment and stop and like pause or not stop
Yeah.
and pause, but just like pause
Yeah.
and think like reflect on like where you are in space and time and blah blah blah.
Yeah, so that's been really helpful.
That's centering and nice for the brain.
Being intentional about my movements and, like, feeling grounded, so, yeah. Yeah,
All
that's
right. That being said, now I feel like I should go exercise. I still want other people to exercise, but like, I don't, I'm often getting exercise while teaching somebody else exercise instead
right.
of me getting to like receive class.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
All
know if
right.
power would be your thing, but maybe something else.
Yeah, I don't like being hot. I run hot. I swear, if they had a cold class, I'd probably do that class.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, no. That's why I like snowboarding.
Yeah. Not the same though.
All right. Well, talk to you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.